This level is pretty short, but it's split into 3 distinct parts. The first part is a battle followed by a giant wheel, and then another battle followed by a giant wheel. Fortunately, we have rubber packs, so we can just kind of stun all of the enemies. We don't want to use our scare, though. It's not all that challenging to stay on the wheel. You just kind of move backwards. The wheel does move slightly faster than you can move backwards, but by that point you're at the end. The other orange ghosts that the big noodly orange ghost spawns, they count as separate points, but they vanish if you don't bite them quickly enough. These aliens are meant to shoot at you while you're on the wheel, but they don't care very much about aiming. They just kind of shoot wherever. Maybe had a little bit too much momentum there. The second part of the level is the most interesting ghost challenge in the game. We have to eat the ghosts in the time limit like normal, but that big thing in the background is also going to be shooting lasers at us. It's actually a little bit more difficult because you're used to not having to pay much attention. This is also where they throw shield ghosts into the mix. So really, it requires a lot more thought than all the other challenges up to this point. That was Apex's robot, by the way. Apex was in that robot. Pac-Man didn't seem to want to react to it for some reason. Maybe they didn't have budget for that. The third part of this level is just a really, really long glide. Or 2 really, really long glides, I guess. They start mixing enemy types together a lot better, starting at World 3. I think it's pretty noticeable. This section can be kind of rough if you don't just hover around the outside, but there is a collectible hidden right behind one of these hazards. Thankfully, like I mentioned earlier, we can turn around pretty quickly and adjust ourselves. With this guy, we can just kind of be a jerk and destroy his shields from really far away. Thanks, Slowdown. What was that for? The first part of this level has some pretty tricky platforming, but the payoff is worth it if you can pull it off. So we've established that the game likes to hide point multipliers, well, not hide them, but place them very far apart from each other. Now, combine that with vanishing platforms. It's very easy to trip up here and run into a hazard or fall down a pit just because you're eager to get the point multiplier. But if you get them all, you'll have a ×5 point multiplier on your hands. And that's basically all the points for this level taken care of already. I really love the layout of this part of the stage where they combine the vanishing platforms with the fire wheel. It's very easy to dodge still, but it's nice. This level has a very appropriate name. It is indeed a space dock, and we are doing a lot of swinging.
Excellent.
Do you see those mad skills right there? Even though it's not as good as the Scare, the Chameleon Pack power-up is a decent substitute. You get a lot of points from using it. Well, I don't need that now. You could have spawned earlier, maybe. This one's actually a lot harder to... Oh, dear. This one's actually a lot harder to avoid as it moves much faster. The trick is to jump over it early instead of trying to run from it. If you do that, you'll be fine. There's a big fight up here, but a lot of the ghosts are spread far apart, and many of them are also shield ghosts, so we're not going to use our Scare. Have we even used our Scare this level? I don't think so. Really, Chameleon Pack is the best pack for combat. Not because it's easy to kill all the ghosts with it, but because of the amount of points you get. There's one hiding... Oh, there it is. I'm gonna let you listen to the music for a bit in this next level because it's my favorite track in the game, and it legitimately surprised me the first time I heard it. Now that's good stuff right there. So after you deal with the shield ghost right here, you can just kind of suck up all the rest with the magnet power-up super easy. The gimmick of this level is that we traverse different parts of the ship with these geysers. And the geysers go to varying heights depending on what gravity we're at. If all you care about is getting through the stage as quickly as possible, you can adjust the gravity every time before you use the geysers. But then you miss out on some of the collectibles, and we don't want to do that. Also, you don't want to hit your head on the platforms. I swear I didn't mess up on purpose. Just so you could hear the music more. I swear that was not my intention. We could yank the chain again and use this geyser to go way up further in the level, but we'd miss a challenge area if we did that. This point multiplier is one of the most useless in the game. There's basically nothing to use it on. I wouldn't say this challenge level is challenging either. What a surprise, but it is at least fun. You have to time your fall between those squishing platforms so that way you can hit the collectible without, you know, dying. Not that hard. I think this might be the longest level in this world, but I can't tell if that's because the level is actually long or because I'm incompetent. Even though this jump doesn't look that far, we wouldn't be able to make it if we didn't bite the chain first. This is the only level where Apex talks to us, and the things he says imply that he has no idea why we're here. Also, look at the floor on this platform. Look at it. Look at how awesome that is. That is a great effect. This is also really the only area where the alien shots actually do something. They go across the platform in some pretty tricky patterns. They might be less tricky if I didn't walk right into them, though. Look, this game was made for younger audiences. Clearly, I am just playing it as it was intended to be played. That's what I'm doing right now. We really, really don't want to use our scare until the very end of the level. Please grab it. Look, I swear I didn't see the spikes. What is that glowing green thing in the middle? I don't care. Look at how pretty the environment is. Look at how not screwed up the frame rate is right now. These are things to be happy for. So even though I'm really bad at this, apparently, there's a really neat collectible right here. Oh, okay, the one time the spikes retreat, I actually pull something neat looking. God damn it. Look, I'm still probably this game's best player. I doubt anyone else is gunning for that title right now. This is why we wanted to save our scare. So let's see what Apex has to talk about.
Okay, that's it! I don't know why you're here, but we're going to finish this once and for all. You can fight all you want. I'll always be ahead. Ahead!
This might be the toughest boss to get the high score on, and it's actually pretty difficult even when you're not trying to get the high score. All of these platforms can be blown up by Apex, and the only way to hurt Apex is to turn him over by hitting one of those missiles. But doing that by itself isn't enough to get the high score. You have to hit his underbelly after he flips over. And if you miss even a single opportunity to lob fireballs at him, you probably won't get the high score. This boss has the distinction of having a second phase that's harder than the first. Most of the bosses do not do so. Yeah, it's actually seriously hard to avoid everything. So, This phase is actually really tricky. These lasers cut through platforms really fast. And there are still missiles left over for us to hurl at him, but that won't get us nearly as much points. Thankfully, I think we're already at the required high score. Because we get a big bonus when we finish him off. Yeah, I think we're done. Sometimes the game will spawn you on a platform as it crumbles, and that's not fun. Thankfully, that doesn't happen too often.
Okay, Apex, where are my parents?
Your parents?
Give it up! I know you're holding them prisoner!
I don't know what you're talking about. They're gone. I don't know where they are.
Of course he doesn't! But I do. I've got your parents now, and I'd be happy to release them. For a price.
I'll do anything! Just tell me what you want!
This!
The repository! The container where all the bodies of the Netherworld ghosts are stored!
Exactly! You bring me the repository, and I'll release your parents!
But Cersei and the President have it hidden. It'll probably be really hard to get. And if I steal it, I'll be betraying all my friends!
Boo-hoo! Not my problem! Now, do we have a deal?
We have a deal. Sorry about wrecking your ship, Apex.
That's okay, I understand. Betrayus can be a real jerk. Believe me, I know. Good luck with that.
Thanks.
So, did you do it?
Yes, he doesn't suspect a thing. My special homing chip is in place. You should be able to track that pesky yellow orb wherever he goes.
Excellent! That dim-witted little lemon ball is going to lead me right to the repository!